But never only when I was down. But yesterday I was loving up what makes me feel nice. But yesterday I was loving you. I was loving you. And yesterday I was loving up what makes me feel nice. But yesterday I was loving you. when we're dancing with my playing, playing, running around and you don't care. Feel the pressure in your head. Now, 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 I'm not any secret. You look like with a pick it up. You really know that you're ready now. Baby, raise on. all I felt like I was falling down. I didn't wanna drown. When I see how the rainy day face was really wet. See how the rainy day stuck in my mind. I kept see how the rainy day see not to forget. Blurred vision with selfishness is the first stage of habit. She called every morning to wake me up from my sleep. Wake me up from my nightmare. She is up on my dream. She be calling every night to make sure I still exist. Make sure that I'm still free. That's no evil twist. When we were kids, we found out love. We can't resist. The love that plays, our heart's dreams. Love that should truly live. These spaces, these spaces with no, these spaces, no, these spaces with no faces, no faces, just me. chose to waste the day. She drove through darkness, her passion lit the way. Whose dream has become his nightmare, his duty, and his mission. have a good time. No more playing around, boy, now stop time, let's cross the line. Show me what's inside that soul, I'll let you feel mine. Come on over if you wanna have a good time. No more playing around, boy, now stop time, let's cross the line. Show me what's inside that soul, I'll let you feel mine. Come on, let's get our mind and ways.
Brother. I was only giving you a quick ring just before I start on the phones because I've been in there really. Only a quick ring just to let you know on Sunday. Fucking hell. Look, I'm in a fucking lady's top breath. Get the first hour in.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. I was looking for the person that orders ink, you know, for the printer.
Oh, well, actually, there's nobody here at the moment. We're away on holiday for a week. We're officially back in on Saturday. Would you mind giving a call back after
Yes, sorry, my apologies. Are you guys any good on email, or is it better to call back?
No, you can do it via email. It's the asksunnybridge@outlook.com.
Oh, bear with me, sorry. I know a lot about ink, but I only type with one finger, and I know I've got to hurry up. I'm under pressure. So it's asksunnybridge at Outlook.
At outlook.com.
And you wouldn't know the name of the printer, would you?
I'm not offhand. No, I'm not in the club at the moment.
No, it's fine. I'll send an email. I'll put my name, Charles. I run my own company based in Cardiff.
Okay, well, we do buy quite a lot of ink actually, because we're forever printing in.
Oh, so it could be of interest, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll leave you with one thing. I run my own company. I've been doing it for a long time. But I was going to say, when you get back in touch, I won't just quote you for the ink. If it is something that you're going through, I might actually say, listen, guys, would you accept a recommendation of a printer? Because I've done it for so long that my customers come to me, you know, when they're in that situation, say, right, Charles, you know, what would you, because I won't just sell the ink to you for cheaper. I'll say, well, why don't we look at a solution potentially, you know?
Yeah.
What was your name, by the way?
Linda.
Linda. Is it Linda or Ly?
It is Li.
Perfect. I'm going to leave it to it. Thank you very much for taking the call, but I'll send it over. My name's Charles and I'm from Cardiff. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye. Right. So this one's got to be. All right, let's go. Idaho.
Sorry, your call cannot be completed at this time. Please hang up and try your call again later. Hold while I try to connect you. Good morning, Councillor Bracken, speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, good morning. I was looking for the person that orders ink, you know, for the printer.
Oh, that's done by our IT department.
Ah, right. Is that like a head office type thing, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
Yeah, I'm going to put this on my notes. But thank you very much for letting me know. Anyway.
No worries. Have Have a
Thank
lovely
you.
day.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye. Bye. She said, yes, Sunnybridge at outlook.com. Swear that's what she said. Sunnybridge. SC. Hi, good morning. I was looking for the person that orders ink, you know, for the printer.
Right. For what reason?
Well, my name's Charles. I run my own company based in Cardiff. I was just looking for permission, really, just to leave my my contact details and prices, if that would be okay.
Right. You do genuine ink?
Yeah, it depends on the printer because I've been doing it for 13 years. So whatever people throw at me, I've been running my business for the last 5, but whatever people throw at me, I can usually come up with a solution. So I know it's a bit of a long shot, but do you know the name of the printer? Because I can tell straight away, you know.
I have a number of printers, but I only use the genuine because I've been down the road of.
You've had your fingers burnt.
Others when they've destroyed printers.
Yeah, yeah. What is the main printer called? Do you know? Is it like a brother or
Well, I've got an Epson, a couple of HPs, and a Samsung.
And a Samsung. The Samsung, is that the black and white printer? Is it like an Express, Samsung Express?
That's a color laser.
Is that a color? Oh, right, okay. So this, which is the one that you would say potentially you use the most, or is costing the most, if that makes sense?
Well, the Samsung costs the most because it's laser.
Yeah, and it's color.
I don't use that as much, only when necessary.
Yeah, because of the cost.
The main printer is the Epson.
Yeah, which Epson is it? Workforce Pro or do you know the number?
Workforce 7210.
7210. Let me double check on that one. And that takes the little links that fit in the palm of your hand, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And with the Epson one, I presume you're using the XLs when you are ordering.
Yeah, XL
27
and double XL.
Yeah, for the black, because it's got a picture of an alarm clock on the front, hasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
With yours, yeah. What was your name, by the way?
I'm Lindsay.
Lindsay. S-A-Y. Brilliant. My funny enough, we actually took my partner's name's Lindsay, L-A-N-D-S-E-Y, and it was really funny actually because she was named after I can't remember, a guitarist from AC/DC. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac. That's what I went with. Correct. And it was so funny because something came up on the TV or something came up and the kids were like, "Oh, there's a guy called Lindsay," and I was like, "Yeah, that's your mum was named after a guy called Lindsay." Kids, you know, we got 4 kids together, me and my missus, and they were all just in shock, to be honest with you. But it's really interesting how people just they see a name and they just think that's how it is in 2022, but they don't realise that years ago it would have been different. 100%. But yeah, my name's Charles, by the way, Lindsay. I'm from down in Cardiff. You've been very upfront with me, and I really do appreciate it. What I would like to do, if you would allow me, would you let me leave you my details and what I can offer? But I'm not going to sell you anything in the sense of tell you the sunshine and roses about non-originals. What I'd rather do is say, here's my details. The reason I'm still in business is not because I ring people up looking to be cheaper. I actually built my business on relationship building. It sounds very wishy-washy, but I've stayed in business because of the way that I basically leave people the hell alone. And if I'm needed, I'll spring into action. If I'm not needed, I don't ring, I don't email. Very, very rarely you'll get a call or an email from me. But in saying that, I do know a lot about ink. I've got 5 kids and I can't remember their dates of birth, but I know everything about printer models. And as soon as you told me the name of that printer, I was straight on it. I knew it was 27 XLs, but I wasn't quite sure on the black, so I didn't know if you were buying the double XL black. And I was even going to give you some advice, because if you were telling me you were going to buy the 27s, I would have said, "Oh, do you know what? Even if you don't use me, Lindsay, use the XLs, but you're already using them." So I could be somebody of interest, but to be honest with you, I've got to kind of prove myself, because you've been, other people have kind of, in a way, messed it up. But then I always look at it like this: if ever I'm given an opportunity, of which I am given a lot of opportunities, because a lot of people are in your boat, a lot of people have had your experiences.
Yeah, can we just
cut to the chase? Yeah. What would you accept an email, or would you just prefer my number on the phone?
No, you can send me an email.
Would that be okay? Because on an email I can at least break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
What's your email address, Lindsay?
Lindsay.
Landsay, yeah.
At
Yeah.
Niall Arms Hotel, all one word.
That's NEUADD Arms Hotel.
.co.uk.
Perfect. Very quickly before you go, do you have any other models, or should I just stick with this one for now, and then you can always let me know the others?
I would stick with this one. The others are more occasional use.
Okay. I'll send it across. I'm also a limited company, so I also sell printers as well. So if ever the conversation comes up about potentially changing printers or what have you, I could be a good source of knowledge for that as well. But I'll send you that email. I'll leave it with you, and then if it is of any interest or what have you, but I'll be as straight with you as you've been with me. I'm not going to give you any bullshit, basically, Lindsay. But thank you very much for letting me send the email. Thanks for the time as well. Appreciate it.
All right.
You have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. cleaning. Fuck. Oh, I need that energy now. Let's go.
James speaking.
Hi, good morning, James. I was looking for the person that orders ink, you know, for the printer.
Right, okay.
My name's Charles. I run my own company based in Cardiff. I was just looking for permission, really, just to leave my my contact details and prices, if that would be okay.
Just hold the phone for a second, please.
Yeah, of course.
Hiya. So just so you know, we've just taken up a new contract with the printing company.
It's on like a lease type thing, is it?
Right.
It's on like a lease, is it? Like a copier?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be on a contract, isn't it? Yeah. No,
I
it's
do
fine.
apologise.
No, it's fine. Thank you for checking for me. I do appreciate it.
No worries.
Cheers.
You have a lovely day.
You too. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, you have a lovely day.
Verizon no longer supports this service. Island Hotel.
Hi, good morning. I was looking for the person that orders ink, you know, for the printer.
Yeah, we're not here at the minute anyway, but yeah, you wouldn't get them this time of the morning because
No.
we sort of clean up at this time of the morning. We're a hotel, so we work at night and not during the day. You know?
What are they any good on email, or is it better to call back?
Well, what's it for?
Well, my name's Charles. I run my own company based in Cardiff,
Right.
and I supply ink for printers. So I was just looking to leave my contact details and prices, if that would be okay.
Yeah, by all means, send us an email. It's elandhotel-raider@hotmail.com.
Bear with me. Sorry, I know a lot about ink, but I only type with one finger. Hang on.
Tell me about that.
so it's Eland. Did you say hyphen hotel?
Eland Hotel, hyphen, no, Eland Hotel, Raider, town,
Yeah.
at hotmail.com.
At hotmail.com. And I know it's a bit of a long shot to ask you very quickly before you go. It is a long shot, but do you know the name of one of the printers? Because I could get across some prices if you know the model.
I don't. So we only have the one printer, right? Well, no, we don't. We've got two. There's one up in upstairs.
The reason I'm asking is because on the email I can actually put like some prices on there, you know.
What is that? The Canon, the one that's sitting in here.
Yeah, does it say like Pixma or something like that?
Maxify.
Yeah. It should say MB.
Probably somewhere.
It might say like MB 5150 or something like that.
515.
Oh, that wasn't a bad guess, was it? Was it MB as well before?
MB, yeah.
Yeah. I know them quite well. I got 5 kids and I can't remember the dates of birth, but I know every toner, ink code, page yield. I know it all.
Yeah.
I got it really. Somebody said that the other day. They said, "Well, that's not very impressive because you run your own business selling ink." And I was like, "Oh, okay." When you put it like that. If you don't mind me asking, if I sent this across, do you get to see this email, or is it someone else? Yeah, perfect. Oh, perfect. And what was your name? Martin. Is it with a?
I've never bought an ink cartridge.
I own the place, but no, it's fine, Martin. What is it, Martin with an I or with a Y?
No, I.
Perfect. Well, what I'll do is I'll send you over an email. I'll put my name, Charles, my Cardiff contact details, my prices, my delivery. One thing I will say very quickly is I promise not to do anybody's head in. Hopefully that makes sense. And also, if you can pass it on, obviously, to the person who deals with that, would be brilliant. And that's all I can ask. And one thing I will say right at the beginning, you said about, you know, the morning night thing, we work at night. Well, it's funny actually, because I actually do my cold calling in the evening. I actually switch to hotels around 6 o'clock. And I try and do a couple of hours in the evening, not every night, because obviously the kids, the missus, whatever. But when I do the calls in the evening, it's really interesting because when it gets really close to 8 o'clock, say I make a call like 5 to 8, the person goes, "Why are you ringing us at this time?" It's too late, you know. So you honestly, in some situations, it's impossible because I used to, when I first. Yeah, 100%. When I first started my business in 2017, I wasn't given any. I didn't have any customers. I've been doing it 13 years, but I had a list of 50 customers when I started my business, and only 3 came across. And out of the 3, all of them ordered within a month. So you got to think the first day I had no customers. So when I first started cold calling, I was actually ringing McDonald's at 6 o'clock in the morning. And the reason I was ringing at 6 is because the business manager, the one who dealt with the inks for the store, they start their shift at 5, 6, and 7. But if you call McDonald's at 8 or 9, they tell you off. They go, "Oh, we're just doing breakfast." If you call them at 12 or 1, they'll say this is a busy time of day, we're doing lunch. And if you call them at 5 or 6, they'll say this is a busy time of the day, we're doing dinner. So it doesn't matter what time you ring them. So what I noticed is if I call them at I used to call them at 5 actually. If I call them at 5 was too early though, because I used to get the cleaners and they used to be freaked out. So I started at 6. But if I start to do it at 6 or 7, honestly, Martin, the response I get every other call, sometimes it's usually them who answer the phone. And also, I can cut to the chase. Also, ringing on a Sunday is absolutely incredible. I don't do it very often because I work Monday to Saturday. I work quite long hours. But if I do ring people on a Sunday, the response I get, generally speaking, is very, very good because they do their admin on a Sunday. So they're actually sat there doing the prices of this. They do profit loss sheets at McDonald's and everything. So it's quite good. But anyway, let me let you go. Thank you for your time, Martin. I'll put my name, Charles, on the email. If you can pass it on, that'd be brilliant. And you have a really good day. Appreciate it. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. Bye. Where's GKQ in it?
I see you calling, now you're going for love in the middle of summer. In the middle of summer. In the middle of.
Come on, Charles. Let's go. I motherfucking ho! buggers. What is joué? Oh. 110.
Hi, thanks for calling the Midwazia. Unfortunately, we're not available to take your call at the moment. If you need to contact us, please call 07852 187919. That's 07852 187919. Our normal opening hours are Wednesday to Friday, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, 12 noon to 12 midnight. And Sunday, 12 noon to 11 p.m. Any problems, please give us a call or leave a message. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, my name's Charles. I run my own company based in Cardiff. I was hoping you could give me a quick call back on a Cardiff number, 02922 402 747. Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Now TV voicemail 1571.
LTV.
The person you're calling is not available. Please leave a message after the tone. After your message, you can modify it by pressing the hash key.
Hi guys, my name's Charles. I run my own company based in Cardiff. I was hoping you could give me a quick call back on a Cardiff number, 02922 402 747. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very tar.
Hello. call can't be taken at the moment, so please leave your message after the tone.
Hi guys, my name's Charles. I run my own company based in Cardiff. I was hoping you could give me a quick call back on a Cardiff number, 02922 402 747. Thank you very much. Let's go. Addy home, motherfuckers. Let's go.
All our receptionists are busy at the moment. Please continue to hold for the next available receptionist, or if you prefer, press 1 to leave a message and we will return your call. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name's Charles. I run my own company based in Cardiff. I was hoping you could give me a quick call back on a Cardiff number, 02922 402 747. Thank you very much. Fucking hell, man. Hi, good morning. I was looking for the person that orders ink, you know, for the printer.
Yeah.
My name's Charles. I run my own company based in Cardiff.
Yeah.
I was just looking for permission, really, just to leave my my contact details and prices, if that would be okay.
It would, except we moved to like one of these reservoir.
Yeah, Epsinico tank.
And we
Maybe.
have. I can't believe how slowly it goes down.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Compared to the old days.
Yeah, if
Honestly, go and buy a press cartridge, it's absolute scene.
Yeah.
But I have not refilled it since I bought a printer a year ago.
Yeah, if all the printers were like this, I wouldn't be able to run a business. I'd have to think about selling bulk or something, because I wouldn't have a clue what to do, because the Epson Eco tanks are crazy. They're just, I don't even know. I understand what they do though. What they do is quite clever. The front end, you have to pay a lot for the printer. You have to pay at least £200 more potentially, compared to like a 50-60 quid printer. Obviously the printer is decent enough, but it's not worth 250 or whatever the price is. Sometimes it's 350. But I
just worked out how much I was spending on cartridge.
Oh, 100%, yeah. But most people, if you
within two lots of purchase a cartridge.
Yeah, you've already recouped the money. Yeah, 100%. But most people, as you know, they go into Argos or Currys or Staples or Asda or whatever, and they see the printer for 50-60 quid, and then they put it through the till. Oh, happy days, they set it up, and then before you know it, the ink's run out. They go and buy the ink for it, black and a colour, say like a tricolour, and then the ink will cost more than the cost of printer, because the black will be 30, the colour will be 30, and then they'll be spending 60, but then they won't change it. They'll be stubborn. They'll be like, well, the printer was cheap. It is what it is. Whereas the other side of things, you know, you pay more for the printer. Usually the rule of thumb is the less you pay for the printer, the more you spend on ink, and the more you pay for the printer, the less you spend on ink. It's a bit like a rule.
It's the same with the car, mate. I mean, actually, you know, when you look at cars, and people spend, even if you spend, it isn't the same in terms of you get more value for
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you work out how much you spend on fuel and compare it to the price of the car, you don't think about it.
Exactly. Yeah. I started hiring. Yeah. I started hiring cars. Yeah. Back to I don't do it now because it's too expensive. The price has gone absolutely through the roof. But back I was hiring cars back when I first set my business in 2017. I did it for about 3 years up until I would say 21, so maybe 3-4 years. And I was hiring a car at a certain price per day. And everyone around was like, "You're crazy," but their cars were like breaking down and needing like MOT, and then you need this, need that, need the other. And I didn't really have even the capital to like some of the my friends had like £1,000 to fix it, gearbox and this and that. But with me, it was like because my Mini comes in sporadically every day, every week, every month. It doesn't come in set amount because I'm in sales. I sell obviously the inks, and then for me, it worked out really well up until recently because of the prices. It's just gone double, triple the amount I used to pay. It's like £35 a day, but it used to be £14-15 a day. And my of course, hiring versus owning is another argument, but I think it's a good argument to have because at the end of the day, it's one of these situations where you can say, God, I didn't have the chance to do it on finance, otherwise I would have. That's another argument. That's why I hired instead of, I didn't really have much option. But the reason I didn't buy a car is because I'd already done it. I'd already bought the cars. I'd already bought £2,000-3,000 cars, £4,000 cars, and unless you spend a good whack on a car, you're not going to get. You're going to be running. Well, in my experience, anyway, it's obviously not the case for everyone. But I got 5 kids as well, so I needed a bigger car, and it was just breaking down and things like that. So I get the point. But the thing is with the printers, really interesting is Epson. They've definitely marketed it because a lot of people have eco tanks, but I don't know. It's a weird. HP have done their own version as well. Interesting. Yeah, they've done their own version. If could I leave you just in case? Because I do sell the ink. Would I be okay to leave you the details, even if?
Yeah. So it's Richard. You can email him.
Yeah, would that be okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Richard at thekestrelin.com.
I know a lot about ink, but I only type with one finger. So it's Richard at thekestrelin. Do you say .com? You did say .com. .com. Perfect. Very quickly, what's the model of the Epson? Because I can actually quote for the inks when you do need it, whenever that may be. It should be ET with 4 numbers at the end.
HP Smart Tank 559.
It's got HP. So it's the HP one that you've got, not the Epson.
No, it's HP.
That's interesting. 559. So it's 559, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The bottles are huge. I haven't even opened the 135 milliliter bottle of black ink yet.
Yeah, it's
I had it a year.
It's crazy. It is down to small colours of black and white and black, but it's down to about a centimetre. I reckon that'll probably last me another 3 months. Yeah.
I poured in the ink, the samples, the colours went quick because my daughter printed some photos out or something.
Yeah.
But I think the black is still black packed. It's crazy.
It is crazy. You're spot on.
When we open as a restaurant, I'm printing fresh menus every day. So, we did proper food that we actually cooked, not pull out of a freezer.
Yeah.
So we put specials on, we do seasonal menus, constantly changing the menu. And one tiny detail change, you got to bin the lot and start again.
Well, you are right. So the black does 6,000 pages, and the colours do 8. But what I'll do is I'll put a quote across, Richard. I'll put my name on Charles on the quote. But to be honest with you, my attitude is very simple. Whether you were using ink all the time, whether you're using it once a year, very, very simple. My attitude is, if you need me, I'll be there. If you don't need me, I'm not going to do your head in. So I'm not going to ring, email. And to be honest with you, even if I get an order, I'll be very fortunate, I think. But I would still be interested in doing business. And the reason being is I have quoted for these inks, but they've lasted so long that I haven't even bloody sold any yet. I think I've been quoting them for a year. No one's got back to me.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's not because you're not good at your job.
Yeah.
Well, the price doesn't rise.
It's just that people just exactly, mate. Exactly.
I was going to say to you, well, if things are going better and you've got 5 kids and you're feeling flush, a mate of mine, a new, not a scam, but a new little nugget. It only came out out of a conversation he was having. Basically, he's got a HP, a new Volvo, electric Volvo.
Yeah, yeah.
Like not the giant one, the sort of mini-sized one, because he's got children. And he was joking, well, you know, they said, oh, you're guaranteed this, guaranteed that, whatever. And they said that you can bring it back. You can bring it back within 6 months if you don't like it, and they'll give you your money back.
Oh, is that with the Volvo rental thing?
Yeah. So he said, so hang on a minute. So if I have a brand new car and I bring it back every 6 months, they give me a new car. And the guy scratched his head and he kind of thought for a minute. He said, well, technically, yeah. So he said, right. Well, I've ordered this one.
He said, right.
Well, I've ordered this one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring it back in 6 months. So I'm going to put my 6 months advance order
Yeah.
of my new Volvo in 6 months' time.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, fine. Because he said,
It's like a loophole.
A second-hand car for more than you're going to be financing the next one.
Wow.
Because there's such a waiting list.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he said, fine. So he's going to get a brand new, spanking brand new car every 6 months delivered, put on his drive, and the old one taken away, and it's not going to cost him any more money.
Yeah, yeah. Until the situation flips, but that might not be for a long time.
Looking at what I was on a train a lot yesterday and the other day going to London and back, and I watched the whole fucking thing on batteries and battery technology and how, frankly, the deep mining required and the shortage of the parts that they need to make batteries. It's just not sustainable anyway.
So you think?
Never mind the fact we haven't got the power. We haven't got the fucking power to run the country as it is.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think they might have to go back?
What I think is I was reading about the fact they've now managed someone's invented and developing a synthetic petrol, which is actually nothing to do with carbon, nothing to do with oil. So a bit like, you know, vegetable oil, so turning vegetable oil into synthetic fuel. So basically, I think ultimately all our petrol cars, depending on diesel, not so much, all our petrol cars potentially will be running on synthetic carbon zero petrol at the pumps, just like normal. Might be a bit more money, might be less money, but I don't think we're going to have to scrap our petrol cars at all.
Well, that's really interesting because 65% of my business is MOT garages, and this is something that I'm trying to flip. So I'm trying to get my percentages down on the garages and further up in other sectors. But if it weren't for the garages, I wouldn't be in business, because they're the ones who've basically from day one they've helped me out massively, and even to this day they're incredible customers. But it's obviously played on my mind. 2030 was it the cut off for the cars? Although that doesn't even mean anything. I mean, we've just seen in the last couple of days. Oh yeah, exactly. It doesn't mean anything. But well, exactly. But this is before COVID. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't even know what the bloody hell. I haven't even been keeping the tabs on this trust.
I can prove to you.
Yeah.
I have conversations with a mate of mine, Givetti, and I have texted competition that I can trace that my comment. I predicted that he would be back in number 10, and he laughed, and then the other day he pinged me and he said there might be some trades because he put in an article. And this morning I haven't looked at my phone yet, but I should think he's got a 50-50 chance of being PM.
Is that ever happened before?
Yes, twice. Aaron Wilson and Winston Churchill.
Yeah, but okay, has it ever happened apart from 60 years ago, 50 years ago? Who's Howard Wilson? Was that? Is that before Winston Churchill?
Howard Wilson was in 1970s, late 60s, 70s.
Okay, but it had, okay, so 30, 40, 50. It hasn't happened in 50 years.
No.
I don't even know why he resigned in the first place, if I'm going to be honest.
Well, because he had to.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
The biggest problem with Boris is that this court case is yet to come, or legal.
Yeah, that's right.
Is yet to come out.
Yeah.
So if he did get it enough, then he might have to resign again if they prosecute him.
Yeah.
If they prosecute him, then he's going to be out again, and then he won't get it.
But the woman that was doing it, that civil servant woman, that was doing the investigation, she kept saying, because I really try and keep away from the news, but she kept saying every week, yeah, well, I'm going to release it next week. oh, there's more information. I'm going to release it next week. I'm going to release it next week. And it went on for like 3 months. I was like, oh, do you know what? Don't even bother releasing it. I'm not even bothered now at this point. I don't really care. Because you dragged it on for so long. I'm going to be open and upfront. But yeah, but you still haven't told any of the public anything that's gone on. They've obviously done something wrong. And by you coming out and saying it, then obviously heads will roll. So you're just not going to come out and say it for as long as humanly possible.
Tony Blair's report on the weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
Very, very suddenly decided to kill himself
Yeah.
on a riverbank in Oxford.
Yeah.
And I'm not a conspiracy theorist as a rule, but I grew up in Oxfordshire. My father-in-law still lived there at the time, and he knew a policeman, a local policeman who was on site, and he said that the paramedic team that arrived, he'd never seen this life before. They weren't from the Oxford Hospitals group. You know, he'd attended hundreds and hundreds of RTAs and, you know, accidents and injuries, and he'd never seen these paramedics before. And they took him off in an ambulance. He didn't know the people in it. So and that really made me suspicious. You know, the fact that these things happen, mate. It's just
You've got to be careful, Richard. That rabbit. You're better off 100%. You're better off not knowing, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist either. But I'll tell you something. When my sister was looking at the China's in China in January, she kept tabs on obviously it wasn't called COVID back then, but she was keeping tabs on this outbreak in China from January. Obviously it happened in December, but from January she was really keeping tabs. January, February, coming into March. And I wasn't really paying any attention. And she was like, because she was really obsessed with it. And it's really interesting that these rabbit holes that you can potentially go down with is the world flat and all this religion and everything. But do you know what's really interesting? I run my own business. I've got 5 kids, like I said. I'm going through a lot of personal issues at the moment. And if I don't make these calls and get my head down and make shit happen, then my whole life's going to go to shit. So I need to keep focused, and by keeping focused, you've got to be very, very wary of where you put your attention to, because all these things, they do have credence. They really do, because you can speak to so many people with so many different opinions and views. But I've just got to crack on with the phone calls, mate. I got to run my business. So you know, these people are not paying my bills. So it's amazing, all these conspiracies and everything like that. Like I said, like similar to you, I'm not a conspiracy theorist as a rule, but you know, you've really got to be careful, especially when you're running your own business. You've got to be really wary of your time, really wary.
Yeah, well, I am too. I'm in the shit as well. Is there any consolation? So,
well, you know, you've got a you know, it's a ray of sunshine with this printer. Not for me.
I've got 2 people in this building at the moment. I've got two bed and breakfast guests.
Yeah.
And they are the last 2 bookings I have for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I've got a single bed booked between now and, well, ever. This is the last booking I have at any point in my calendar future, which is like 6 months ahead.
How long have you been doing this for?
Years.
And what are the stats? Have you done the stats, like an average stat?
Oh, yeah. We normally, this time of year, it's quiet. Normally we're running about 35% capacity.
Yeah.
You know, it's a long weekend. You know, we get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sundays, or, you know, it's only weekends really, maybe plus a day, or you're looking at very occasional commercial travellers. But no, we have nothing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my wife has 2 other jobs. And
Yeah.
I started a handyman business 3 years ago, when lockdown sort of, well, before lockdown.
Yeah.
And that trickles along, you know, like you, I just get by.
Yeah.
But no, it's you have just got to focus on every day. Yeah, no, I empathize with you.
It's a tricky one, mate. You've got to put it into perspective.
Do you do gratitude things in the morning?
Yeah, I mean, I've done sales, phone sales for 20 years. So I do gratitude ones I've really struggled with. But what I do is I try and watch my motivational videos. I try and listen to motivational in the car. I've got a Dropbox folder and it's got full of motivational audio. So I listen to motivational speakers. Go on.
You know Matthew McConaughey, handsome actor?
Yeah.
Go look him up and listen to some of his broadcasts.
Yeah, he did a speech, didn't he? It was quite a famous speech.
He will speak to your soul. He will speak to you in a way that when I first heard him, he did a funny sound, just gorgeous. I mean, if I wasn't a testosterone sort of I would want a relationship with that guy.
Yeah. Oh no, apparently it's 2022 though, Richard. You can do what you want apparently now. So
yeah, but I still don't want to.
You want to, but you don't want to.
Every morning when I wake up, the minute I open my eyes, I give thanks for being alive, for being healthy, and I go through a list of things that, and even some bad people, I have to give gratitude because they made me change my life, or they fired me, and actually now I look at it.
Like I got fired, that's why I started my business. I got fired, yeah.
And actually,
that's what made me start my own business, because I didn't want to get fired again. I've only ever been fired once. All the other times I was out the door anyway.
And I recommend that you do it because it changes my day. I've only been, I'm not doing a lot of self-help. I was being a therapist once every fortnight now. Just for me to be my best self.
It's the mindset. So what they do is that I've looked at the stats before. 80% of we get this right because I've said it for a long time. 80% of your thoughts are negative. I think the stats are 90% are repetitive. So what happens is, if 80% of your thoughts are negative, that's a battle, obviously, 80-20, but 90% are repetitive. So it's not just the positive thoughts that are going through. You have to shift the routine of the mindset. And that's why I said about, I didn't say it, but I'll say it now, protecting what is going in. And that, I did kind of say it in a way, because you go on to BBC News, for example. I went on to BBC News app. I shouldn't have done it. I was on the toilet, downloaded it quick, thought, right, I'll sit here for 10 minutes and chill out while the kids are screaming, Mrs. is doing my knitting. I don't even fucking go to the toilet half the time. And I'm sat there, and I goes on there, and straight away, nurse murdered 22 babies. The 9-year-old girl shot in her house, and I was like, what the hell? And I was just like, it's the fit, because that's what gets the eyes on what they need it to do for advert, the score with advertising. And psychology is where it needs to be looked at, because it's the mind. Everything, the battle is the inner battle. That's what people don't understand. It's not the enemy from outside. The battle is from the enemy inside your own mind, and that's where it begins, and that's where it ends. So definitely keeping your mind protected with, like you said, gratitude. I do obviously motivation, and you just mentioned then about being grateful and things like that. I've got 5 kids, and my youngest one, which should be the easiest one because I've done this for a long time, is 5 years old, non-verbal, and is autistic, or going through an autism assessment. He is autistic, but he obviously hasn't been diagnosed yet. And he absconds, which I never even knew what that word means. And what it means is he escapes, and he escaped the house on Sunday evening about 4 or 5 o'clock, and he escaped the house, and none of us knew where he was. Bear in mind, my missus and 3 kids in the house. I got 5 in total, but they were 4. And he escaped, Richard. He actually went, obviously we didn't know this, but he left the house, turned right with his massive iPad Pro, went all the way up the street, and he ran across 4 lanes of a very busy road in Cardiff, extremely busy road. It's called Newport Road. It runs the whole length of the city centre. And it's crazy what he did. And they had to call the police, and somebody picked him up off the road and had him on the wall and kept him safe, called the police, etc. We went over there. And then when I went up to him, I was just like, but that fear, the parents' fear of your kid going missing. And then he puts it all into perspective. So everything that was surrounding that situation, because I'm going through an eviction notice with the house that we were living in, it runs out in a couple of weeks. But everything that we've been going through in that house, I just actually drew a line in the sand, and I actually said to everyone, get some stuff, pack up some stuff. We're never ever staying in this house ever again. But by doing so, it means that now I've put them in a caravan down in Trackle Bay, and I've got to travel back and forth Cardiff, and the kids are going to school next week for a bit of normality. But it's going to cost me an absolute fortune, as you can imagine, weekly, and I have to hire a car because I don't have credit to buy a car or whatever, like I just said to you earlier. And now I'm back to hiring a car at £33 a day. This is why I know the prices are through the roof. So now I have to put a price on the mental health of my partner and the stability of my kids, and that price is £6.30 every Friday. So now it's game on. Now I have to make the calls, do the quotes, get the orders in, get the business in, and every Friday I've got to find 6:30. It's going to be extremely difficult because I don't average that a week. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, but I'm going to give it a good crack. You know.
Yeah, well, I wish you huge luck, and I'll send you a lot of positivity.
No, I appreciate it. Change your printer, and we might be able to do a lot more than positivity. But that printer, bloody hell, we're never going to do business. I'm going to send you this email, and
if I can help you,
mate, you already have.
Send me a lot of info.
I've just sent you an email. Yeah, but yeah, 100%. But I listen, mate. You've already done more than enough because you've been somebody that I've just spoken to, and also I've listened to you as well. And like you just said then about the bookings and everything like that, you know, people not coming. You know, if you've done it for 8 years, mate, you know the score. It's like with me, I have my biggest month. I looked at my biggest month before in March, something like that. And for 3 of those 21 working days, I had no sales. So on those days, I was like, what's going on? I was even like smelling my breath, thinking, you know, smelling my armpits. So have I done something wrong? Have I said something wrong? But that's just the kind of way it goes. So you got to go back. But you're also obviously suffering from the back end of COVID as well. Still, hospitality. Yeah.
And actually, what I do for myself affects all my family. I've got 3 children. But what I noticed is that how different I am towards other people and how different people are towards me. I've touched so, I mean, not physically. Yeah. I've touched so many people on my. I've just done 20 days in London.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I have conversations with people. Really good conversations with people. And when we part, you know, underground or wherever, they say, God, that was really nice to meet you.
Yeah. And
that changes them, it changes me. I get women smiling at me in the street. I'm 48 years old, a little overweight and slightly grey. I promise you, very pretty women.
Yeah.
When she passed, I'm not just looking at their crotch as they're walking by, you know, I'm looking at their eyes.
Yeah.
And they smile.
Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah.
And that's nothing I've said or done, or I'm just walking down the street. But I've just got this positive kind of love coming out of
it. So basically it's about energy. So people do, if you look at the 11 laws of the universe or 12 laws, it depends on who you look at, who you research about the laws, because people have different interpretations. But if you look at forget about religion for a second, you look at the laws of the universe, and one of those is about the energy. So for example, I start my cold calls as much as I can. If I can, I start at 8 o'clock, and I do hotels, because hotels obviously usually, you know, even 24/7. So the reason I do it is not to get sales. I actually do it to get rocking and rolling for the day. I used to do it in McDonald's, but then I used to get sales from McDonald's and they don't pay their invoice on time, so that used to piss me off. So I don't do McDonald's anymore, but I do it with the hotels or golf clubs or whatever the hell I'm doing at 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever, bakeries. I used to do bakeries, sorry. And to be honest with you, Richard, it was only to develop this kind of energy that you get out what you put in. So I was kind of like putting out to the universe, right, Charles Steady's here, he's on the phones, he's rocking and rolling. You know, what's the day going to give? Now, bear in mind, it doesn't happen every day, because some days I can't even make it to the office. Some days I've got personal shit going on, as you know yourself. You know, you can't do what you need to do. But energy is all what it's about, whether it's negative, whether it's positive. I just personally believe that everything is revolved around energy. You know, I haven't looked into it deeply, but I have looked at the 10 or 11, 12 laws. You know, I don't know. There's something about like law of reciprocity, the law of reaping and sowing. You know, I believe these, you know, the law of attraction. I believe this conversation was meant to happen, maybe for you, maybe for me, maybe for both of us. But the point is, you know, you could have easily, if I'd cold calls before, you could have easily said, oh, I'm not interested, mate. I've got one of these bottle printers, don't need you. Put the phone down. Obviously, I wouldn't have even been offended. I'd be like, oh, fair enough, and put, you know, next call. We've had this chat, you know, and
something really weird, right, gone through my head. And it's actually before you just said that. But I don't know you. You could be a complete con man. You could have just made up all this stuff.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Went through my head
yeah.
I thought to myself, when you just said about 33 quid, I said to myself, if I had a spare car sitting here in my car park, I'd lend you that car.
Yeah. I know.
Why would I do that? Because
yeah.
I know you.
Yeah.
I don't even need.
I've helped people out that I don't know, and people have helped me out. It's weird.
But I would happily do that for you if I had one.
Yeah.
I do have one, but it's broken.
Yeah.
I honestly would let you borrow it.
Yeah.
Back with the force.
Yeah. People.
Someone told me a pup that's been on the drive for 6 months.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
People, honestly, Richard, this is what happens in life. People come along and it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Money for me comes and goes. I'm not very good with money, so I suppose I can say that quite flippantly. But I can't even begin to tell. Like, you know, when you, I don't know if you've ever broken down, but I've broken down multiple times in the car. Yeah, and yeah. Well, it's one of those situations that, you know, some people they can either put you down, or they can pick you up, dust you off in the truck. And usually the strangers are the ones who don't judge you. It's usually your friends and family, with all due respect, who have seen you, you know, I don't know. For me personally, it's a journey. It is what it is. I got to crack on. I was telling somebody the other day and they were like, wow, look at what you're going through. And I was like, yeah, but okay, but if I was someone else in the world, I might not have fucking drinking water. I might not have food. I might not have, if I was in a shit, anywhere else in the world, you know?
Like half the world.
Yeah.
Half the world,
yeah.
Their kids haven't, you can't even, well, never mind the car.
Sometimes you have to ship your family away. Imagine if you're in a war-torn country. I'm not just talking about Ukraine. I'm not just talking about Ukraine. Yeah, but forget. Yeah, but forget about Ukraine. That's a newer war.
China.
Look at it. That's what. There you go. There you go. So and also sometimes you got to think, you have to escape the country. Sometimes you have to ship your kids off. You may never see them again. Sometimes you have to go on a boat with 40, 50 people, and the boat is not gonna. Not all of you. 50 people on a boat. 40 people are going to survive. You know, that's a 20% chance.
I'm back to gratitude. You know, you've got, okay, your fifth son is your child.
Yeah.
Is
Correct.
difficult and challenging.
Correct.
But bottom line is, mate, you know, that you're all happy, healthy.
Yeah.
You know, you're still together.
Yeah.
And
every day it gives me an opportunity to do something about it, because I'm set up here in a little office in Cardiff. I've got an Excel spreadsheet. I've got a phone. I've got the internet. I've got my knowledge and experience of 13 years of selling ink, and I've got my work ethic. So you fuse all that together, and I'm going to make something happen today. Whereas I could just stay in that caravan and just cry myself until next Friday when they want 400 quid to book it again for another week, and I haven't got it.
Yeah.
So I just got to make it happen. And if I don't make it happen, it won't be for lack of trying. Nobody can ever. I can always look myself in the eye at the end of the day or the end of the week and say, right, Charles, you've done everything possible. And if that's not good enough, that I'm happy with that. If it's not good enough and I've tried everything I can, then I can settle that with myself. You know.
I'll be honest with you, Charles. The other day, maybe you should look at other avenues. You know, you come across to me, and I've been in sales and marketing for my whole life, pretty much. And I've gone, you know, I've done all the ends. I've done it. I've managed people. I've been on the board of a public company, and I've had my ups and downs and all the rest. But you strike me as someone who's very, very competent at selling, and the way that you talk to people. I honestly think if it does get to the point where that money isn't going to be there, you just think about what else you could sell, because you can sell.
Yeah, it's been so I've been told many times, but I do enjoy it. It's weird, but I do enjoy what I do. But also, it gives me the flexibility as well.
I know.
It does.
I know, but you need money, and there are things you can sell, that would give you more money.
Yeah.
And right now, you need that money, you need the stability. You know, it's the toughest time of the year. Well, then maybe it's not, apprentice. I don't know. Maybe.
No, you'd be very surprised, mate. You'd be very surprised. I don't usually tell people who are in the industry, if I told them what my situation, and they'd be like, why are you worrying for me? You should be pulling 1.5 a week. My issue is with the financial issue is not just making the money, it's spending the money. So at the moment, I'm in a position where I need to make it, but again, I'm in another position where it's going to just go off the back end. But listen, someone just emailed me actually from the council, because it's going through that. Yeah, exactly. Well, this is what they've just done: areas of choice for homeless applicants. So they just sent me a long email, and literally as we've been speaking, so choose the areas, etc. Because what the council do is they take it to a possession order, not just an eviction notice. So the possession order goes to court. I don't know if you know much about Section 21, but it's all this. I didn't know much about it, but basically the council want us to wait for the day the bailiffs turn up, and then they move into temporary accommodation, and then from there you then move elsewhere. So I spoke to the missus, and she is willing to roll the dice with temporary accommodation, but up until that date, which I believe would be a month after the 8th of November would be court, and I believe 2 weeks after the court would be the possession notice. So probably looking about 20th of December. Up until that day the bailiffs turn up, I don't want my family being in that house. So that's from now up until that date, I'm going to have to do something about it, Richard. Simple as that. Now, we could go back to the house, and don't get me wrong, we could go back today, but the mental side of things is where I'm cautious. My partner's been diagnosed with severe depression and social anxiety by a doctor, and she and she actually she puts on a brave face. Right. Sounding Brax.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
I was on the phone then for 48 minutes.
Wow.
But it was a cold call that's ended up with a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, good guy. A guy called Richard, just going through it all, like deep stuff.
Yeah.
Like deep stuff, you know. Give me lots of advice and telling about his experience and this and that. And yeah, it just flew by. I've put the timer on to set the next hour ready. So I thought, I'll be a couple of minutes into the next hour.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just went on. I was just like, okay, so it went 25 minutes into the next hour. So
wow.
He took up like the last 15 or whatever of the first hour. Got a quote, but the printer's fucking the inks last forever. So from a monetary point of view, I'm not going to get any benefit, but from a spiritual kind of point of view, massive.
Yeah.
You know, got a lot of things off my chest. He gave me a lot of things to think about and everything. Yeah, so I'm really happy with that, bro. Yeah, got to get back on it, obviously. So I've just done the first power hour. It's 10:22. So I'm probably going to do hotel. No, I've got to go on to residential time homes, guys. This I was going to do it, and then I'm going to do the 4 follow-up Friday hours.
Nice.
I might even start it now because it's obviously taking me out of sync with the I was going to do the power hours to get into it the day.
Yeah.
But with that call and the power hour in general, it's 10:23. So I think I need to look at the day and make sure I can do 4, even if I do another hour. But then I want to do 2 hours at the back end as well. But anyway, bro, how are you doing?
Okay. Good, man. Good. I'm tired. But yeah.
I text you. Did you see the text?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I said
going in at 8.
I went to I went to bed at 1.
Oh yeah.
Got up at 5. What do you think I should do? And then I just sat at the end of the bed and was like, what would Braxton do?
Yeah.
Bastard. Oh. Probably get it.
Yeah. Yesterday I stayed up late working until 6 in the morning. I went to bed for a couple hours, came in, worked all day, got home at 7:30, and then I was too tired to do anything, so I just fell asleep, got up early. So hopefully I can get 3 hours in or so before my partner John comes in, and then he wants to review what I've done on this project. So trying to get a couple hours in early, and then do what I can to get it out the door today. So it's good.
You look like completing it as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look bad. So keep working hard. But you're probably on the brink.
I know.
So be careful.
And it just got worse. Like the next 2 months are gonna be crushing. So we'll see how it goes.
Is a project coming or something?
Well, there's 5 projects that are coming in, but on top of that, I don't think anyone's here, but let me just close my door just in case. There's this lady that we work with occasionally, and I haven't worked with her a whole lot. I pretty much just work with John, the one guy. But this other lady, she's very experienced, doesn't have a lot of experience doing exactly what we do, but she's a tax attorney and she's been doing tax work for over 10 years. So she knows what she's doing with a lot of stuff that I don't know. So it's very helpful. But she has cancer, and just found out yesterday that they have to amputate her arm. And so she's going to be out for a while, which was like, we knew that she had some medical stuff going on, but didn't know how bad it was,
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's probably going to be out a couple months if she even comes back. She may not. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So John, we just had a chat yesterday, checking in on me, seeing how I'm doing, because he knows I'm tired, exhausted, and now we're making up for the third person on our team. We'll be making up for her to try and just keep going for either until she gets back or until we get someone else in here to help. So So yeah, it's gonna be tough.
So how does that work then? Because it's not sustainable how many hours you're doing. So how does it work? Where's the breaking point? Because I probably would. We've had this chat a few times. I would probably safely assume that in your industry or in the fields where people work that amount of hours for a prolonged period of time, that's when you get the breakdowns. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would say most people would have broke down several months ago.
Yeah.
For where I'm at.
Yeah.
But
you've got to be careful.
I know. Because I also have a baby. I also have a baby coming, and then I'm not going to be here.
Yeah.
In 7 or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you might have already passed your breaking point. You might not have even noticed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you probably just ignored it.
Yeah. I know. I just kind of like pushed through it.
Yeah.
Thinking that, oh, like I got to get to the end of this month.
Yeah. But it's always, that's the problem though, isn't it? That's the addiction.
Yeah. The deadline just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back, and you keep going until eventually you can't do it. Yeah.
And then eventually, like your guy that you said, who took like 3 months off or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or 6 months off or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You're like, how can you take 6 months off or whatever? 3 months. What was it? 3 months or 6 months? 6 months was it?
He did like 3 months.
3 months.
But he's done it several times. He's done it several, like.
Yeah. Maybe he's not the best.
It's been like every year he takes the 3 months off because.
I got a Samsung charger. I've got a Samsung charger, but not for you. Don't mess about you. 2 seconds, bro. Yeah. But, Samsung is. What are you doing? I don't know what you're doing. I'm sorry. Shut the fuck up. It's long. What do you speak like a kid for? Oh, it's too long, this is, bro. It's taking too long. 30 seconds max. Do you want a poll back? Oh, I want it back.
Don't fit to it, let me see.
Yeah, something. Do you want my poll back?
I can put it in the office, can't I?
But if you put it there,
And you can put that in.
Yeah, but you can put that in your purse. It's a poll back.
I just want to charge it 2 minutes. I can't bring the school.
Yeah, but look, dipstick, and then you
Well, I'll leave it in the office downstairs then.
You leave it wherever, but I'm saying you don't need to worry about a plug because then you've got to worry about the plug. I want everything fucking back and how you found it. Yeah, so he took 3 months off every year.
Yeah.
So we don't feel sorry for that guy. Okay, well, he's not a good example then.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so we'll see. You know, we have a good team. I have a good boss. Like we work well together. You know, he's looking out for me. I'm looking out for him. So it's all right. But we'll see. You know, maybe money comes at the end of the rainbow, possibly. So it helps make things make things a little easier. But he knows I need time off. I'm just trying to get to you know, when the baby comes, and then I will have time off.
How long do you reckon you'll have off? What's the statutory time?
So there is no statutory time.
Okay.
In the US, but my law firm gives me 6 weeks.
That's what. Wow. We have statutory.
Statutory. Yeah. So we have none, but I have a really good job, which will give me 6 weeks. If I was a woman, I would get 6 months, all paid.
If you was what?
If I was having the baby myself, they get 6 months, all paid.
Throw that in the mix. If I was a woman,
yeah,
and I had a baby,
so it's a great job. If I was.
I don't think you want to switch.
You get paid for half the year without fucking doing anything.
Yeah, but switch the roles after the birth, I would say.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you won't only ever have one.
But yeah, so I mean, I can take more time than that if I want. But you know, we're just so busy. He's supportive of me taking as much time as I want, because he told me when he had his kids, he didn't. He was back at work on Monday.
Yeah,
and you know, he said it's just different now than it was when he was moving up. But you know, 10, 20 years ago, you didn't get any time off.
Yeah.
Even though the firm would allow it, you just still didn't take it because you couldn't get promoted. But yeah, so I'll probably do the 6 weeks. I live across the street, you know, like I'm close by. He needs help with something, I can stop over. We can get coffee, you know, whatever to keep things going.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see kind of how it goes if this lady doesn't come back, which almost happened a year ago. She actually quit a year ago, and then decided to stay on. And so, but yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But you know, everything's good. This is the time when you know, I get to make my name for myself. This is what champions are made of. It's pulling through when times are tough. Anyone can do it when it's easy.
Oh, fucking hell, it's a piece of piss, bro.
Yeah.
I love it when I actually love it when it's hard.
Yeah.
I genuinely love it when it's when my back's against the wall, there's no safety net, and I got to pull it out the bag. That's when I would say history is definitely taught me. That's when I've had some of my best days, weeks, months, and that's probably, in a way, what's fucked me up in it, because then when the good times have come along, I haven't obviously kept the similar attitude or anywhere close.
You had too many good times.
Yeah, because of all the shitty bad times in my industry is now turned into repeat business, which then gives me the opportunity to have good times and just not be as intense.
Yeah,
that's. I think definitely that's half of my issue. My work ethic has kind of fucked me up by not understanding that when the good times are rolling, you need to keep some type of work ethic, even if it's at a lower effort. You still need to be consistent with an effort, you know. Because I'm just like, if I'm not running at a high level, I'm just like, fuck it. That's how I've been for the day. Can't be bothered. If I'm not running at a high level, I can't even bother. But now I'm like, no, even if I'm not running at a high level, let's still do 2 hours. Let's still do 4 hours, because it will add up over time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this on mute. Hang on. Oh, fuck's sake. I'm going to put this on mute. Put myself on mute. We're live on YouTube. Should we